Many years ago, in fact in pre-COVID times, Captain James Cook saw an island in 1774, and what attracted his eye to it was all the tall native columnar pines. He nicknamed it the Isle de Pines, but he really preferred the name of the Jewel of the Pacific, which is a huge thing to say for a man who visited and explored the whole South Pacific region. As an island, there are only two ways into the Isle de Pines, by air and by sea. Air Caledonia, the country's domestic flag carrier, operates 3 to 5 flights every day of the week between Noumea's Magenta Domestic Airport and the Isle of Pines Airport in the island's interior, and the flight takes roughly 40 minutes. Ferry services are also available, operating between Noumea and the Isle de Pines several times a week, with the journey coming in at around 2.5 hours each way. Cruise ships to the Isle of Pines anchor in Kunié Bay, and their passengers are transported to the pier via the ship's tender boats. Kunié Bay's waterfront area has market stands selling local and handmade souvenirs, and also food stalls selling fresh caught seafood. The French took possession of the island in 1853, at which time the native Kunies opted for the Catholic religion. In 1872, the island became a French penal colony, home to 3,000 political deportees from the Paris Commune. Ruins of the penal colony can be seen from the village of Oro on the west of the island. The water tower of Oro, which was built by prisoners in 1874 and 75, was renovated and in 2005 is still used. Now, as you can see by the video here, we were a little bit lost when we first got on shore, but we saw some people heading off down this road here. We figured, well, they must know where they're going. This is where you get on the tour buses.
This is the tourist. Just called you a tourist.
As I say, we were lost. This guy looked promising, we thought we'd follow him. Turned out he was going to the local police station. Okay, now this driveway here takes you into Boutique Creations Isle de Pines. Located on the Kunié Peninsula close to the island's police station, it's only 2 minutes from the jetty. Friendly owners, Cleo and Albert, set it up a couple of decades ago, and it has an established track record of selling quality hand-painted sarongs and t-shirts, as well as postcards and books about the island all over the world. They weren't quite ready when we were there, so we backtracked out to the road, hung a right, and headed off back down towards Kunié Bay and Kunié Bay. Don't forget to like the video, please subscribe to see more like this, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when the latest one's out. Now just down here on the left, they were starting to set up their markets. Now the water you can see through the trees is Kunié Bay, and that is where the ship was anchored. And over on the right hand side, and the camera pans around a little bit, is Kunié Bay, which is where we were heading. Now Kunié Bay is absolutely massive. You can snorkel, swim, canoe, all around La Rochema, or as the locals call it, Sacred Rock. There are limestone caves found in the water around the base of La Rochema, which is the rock you can see in the centre of the screen there. And it's absolutely nothing less than beautiful. The marine life, the fish, the turtles, they all roam through the area. The rich fertile minerals allow this rock to flourish with overgrown foliage and a sandbar separating it from the shore. The beaches of La Rochère are some of the most photographed in the world.
Bonjour.
Now apparently here around the shoreline where there's a lot of rocks and things like that, you just got to be a little more careful where you walk. There's a few banded sea snakes. Apparently they're in the water and they do come ashore.
Nice.
Apparently very docile, highly unlikely they'll strike unless you've actually stood on one.
Well, I'm as blind as a bat, so I'll probably stand on.
Just look for the black and white striped log.
Fuzzy black and white striped log without glasses on. Yeah.
You got your glasses on?
When I take them off for a swim, you know.
Oh! Charter boat? What charter boat?
People in the water already around here.
Oh look, a tourist in its wild native habitat. In case you're wondering, the flower headdress that Selena has on there, they were presented to everybody that came off the tenders onto the shore. Very, very pretty too. Now the island is rich with animal life and is home to some very unusual creatures such as the crested gecko and the world's largest gecko, the New Caledonian giant gecko, which is capable of growing anything up to 17 inches long or 43 centimetres. Both of them prefer to inhabit the canopy of the New Caledonian rainforest, so they are rarely seen. Photographs can be seen at the end of this, or if you're in Noumea, check out the zoo. They do have some specimens on display there. Some of the indigenous Kanak people fear the giant gecko because of an old superstition that purports that it has the ability to cling to a person's body and pull out that person's soul. They can make a large growling noise, and the local people call him the devil in the trees. Be pretty cool to hear. Now we're just about to where we got in the water, and I did a bit of snorkeling around Sacred Rock. But if you wanted to go on one of the road trips, you can go to Meridean Resort in Oro Bay and Blue Lagoon. It's absolutely stunning on the other side of the island, and I hope to get there whenever we can get back to the Isle of Pines. Now this is where we went for a swim. Now right down at the very end of the beach is the Oroterra Beach Resort. Now checking out the prices there, you're looking at about $450 a night for one of the beach cabins, which I suppose for a resort is not too bad. You can also visit the Queen's Cave, Grotto di Uccia, I may have the pronunciation of that wrong, or the Uccia Cave. Apparently Queen Hortense was hidden in the Queen's Cave in 1883, and she could see the boats and the people looking for her. She never wanted to leave the cave, which is a very strange tale. You'll need a tour guide, permission to enter, and a token or a gift. The cave is sacred to the Kunies and is run by locals. Souvenirs for approximately $10 are on sale, but you need to bring a torch, a camera, and some shoes that you're willing to get muddy. Now the snorkeling around Sacred Rock. You had to go right out fairly deep in the water, straight off the shore where you saw Selena setting up the towel. It's mostly just dead coral like this. Plenty of fish to see though. Anyway, I'll stop my yapping and just let you watch some of the fish for a few seconds. Now I mentioned the banded sea snakes a little bit earlier. As you'll see in these pictures here, people were going right up under the edges of the Sacred Rock and they were actually climbing on it as well. But if you look closely, you had a few friends there. I made sure I kept my distance because I did see a few drop off into the water. It was at this point that we slowly started making our way back towards the jetty and Kuto Bay. Food. Oh yes, definitely food. We needed food. The water though, you cannot dispute that the water looks absolutely amazing. It was beautiful and warm. And no, despite the banded sea snakes in the area there, they are highly, highly unlikely to ever attack. Their mouths are too small to start with.
Listen, will you people taking pictures of my outrigger? Yeah? You can take it out for a couple of hours if you want. Alright, no worries. Just, you got to get it out. Yeah. And then put it back exactly where it was. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. I got Selena, she'll get it out there for me.
Oh, really?
Now just a tip, as you can see I've got a fairly big backpack with all of my camera gear on my back. That was the biggest mistake that I made when I went ashore. I should have just taken the camera and one single lens, taken my snorkel gear and made done with that. I never got anything else out of the bag. So travel light. It's the biggest tip I can give you.
Wave, tourist.
Hey! Well, here we are back at Bay de Couto. Now, I'd heard rumours that if you went all the way down to Hotel Kunié, which is down at the far end of the beach where we're looking now, you may find some turtles. So, I headed off down there. Now, Hotel Kunié is open for tourists from cruise ships for lunches, and it is also where you can actually get the local island specialty of snails. Now you'll see a photograph of that right at the end here as well. Well, before that, time ran out and we had to head back to the cruise ship. A quick look through the markets. One last chance for me as a photographer to get some last minute shots. I definitely cannot wait to go back there again when it's open to cruise ships again. There's so much more to see, and I really do want to get around to Blue Lagoon on the far side of the island. It's just some of the snapshots that I took. Now some of you may be wondering, is the water really that colour? Yes it is. You can see the sand on the bottom, you can see the fish, it is unreal. Now this is from our balcony. We were watching some of the cruise tenders coming back a little bit later in the afternoon when the wind had picked up. So if you don't want a rocky ride, I suggest you may just want to come back to the cruise ship a little bit earlier. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like it, hit the like button, please subscribe so we know somebody's watching, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you on the next time. Bye for now.